Okay. That was easy. Did you have a good weekend?
I did. I had a very good weekend.
Yeah.
Gorgeous weather.
Oh my gosh, my shoulders are fried from working in the yard yesterday. It felt so good though. I was like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
great.
And then I got the phone call or the email of like my dreams right now that the countertops are in. So I'm like, woohoo. He's like, they're ready for pickup. I'm like, okay, I'll tell the contractor. So
Very cool.
I know.
So can he put them in this weekend?
That's what I'm hoping on. That's kind of what I'm banking on. So
awesome. And that's the last thing, right?
In the house, yeah, that's the last cosmetic thing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Trista. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Birdie. Birdie's enjoying her lunch. Hey, that's all right. You got to get it when you can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So is everybody ready to go back to work?
Yes.
Right?
I think so.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. You know, I had made some phone calls over the weekend, and some of them are in, some of them aren't. So we'll see kind of, I guess.
That's kind of like, I thought I was gonna have to like balance showings because I had all these people chomping at the bit, and it's like I only have one showing scheduled.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what happened?
Yeah. Yeah, and I had a buyer, he works at Hurley, and he got, laid off. So obviously he can't
Yeah.
doing anything. So yeah, I think the first week or so, it would just take a little bit for people to get used to it again and whatever, but
Hopefully.
yeah. Hi, Bill.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Thursday, big day, huh?
Yes.
What'd you say?
Said Thursday's the big day.
Oh, yes. I thought you said today's the big day, and I'm like, what am I missing? I like to miss things.
You're so cute, Renee.
Hey, Josette. Hi, Amy.
Elsa, where are you?
Where's all these pretty faces?
Yeah.
Oh, my face isn't so pretty. I've got a plugged ear. I've got it almost 90% blocked.
Oh, geez.
Oh no.
So I'm not well, I'm not looking the best.
Oh.
I don't really want to show myself either. My God. My hair.
Where'd your headband go?
It's a really good idea to go back to work before the haircut's open.
I know.
Everybody shower, please. Though. That's good.
Like, is it professional to wear a hat?
Depends on the hat, Renee.
Or a headband or something. Oh my gosh. It's crazy.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Jim.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Doing?
What's Suzanne?
I'm good.
Good.
I
Great.
can't see everybody on this thing.
Is it just for our
It is
office or
Hannah.
the whole all the offices right now?
This is just our office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The protocol that we sent out is for all the offices. Obviously could change depending on what Mara sends out, but as of right now, this is per the governor and all that good stuff.
Sure.
So,
When do you
Yep.
need the form back, by the way?
by Thursday.
Thursday? Okay.
Yeah. We may have to update something or add an addendum to it depending on if Mar puts any different stipulations on us.
Sure.
But we should be pretty covered. And each office is maybe, this is for every office, but every kind of front desk, if you will, is just going to be a little bit different depending on how that front space is situated and whatnot, so. Bertie, were you trying to say something? You're on mute.
I think she's eating.
Yep, she was trying to talk, but she's on mute.
Let me see here.
I unmuted
There
you.
you
Go
go.
ahead.
Well, nope, you're back on mute.
Oh.
There you go.
Am I on now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I was just wondering if it's easy to get masks and gloves and sanitizer now?
Well, I ordered some for like my clients or whatever from Amazon last week, and there was
Okay.
actually some available.
Okay.
Okay.
The hand sanitizer is extremely hard. The stuff that I got from the office, we ended up getting masks and gloves from a manufacturing company out of state. But that's just for if you guys, or if you have clients that come into the office that don't have a mask. And then the sanitizer, I ended up getting a 5-gallon bucket from the Valentine Distillery in Detroit.
Wow.
They're making it. It's actually better than hand sanitizer because it's 82% alcohol, but it is obviously runnier because it's alcohol.
Has anybody tried GFS to see if they have gloves? Because when I was in food service, they had gloves when you could order them.
Yeah, I don't know. I did not have trouble getting gloves at all,
Okay.
or mask on Amazon last week. I think I ordered them on like Thursday or something like that. So
Do you have to order a bunch at a time?
yeah, the mask came 50 masks to a pack, and the gloves usually are 100.
And they're not reusable, all right? So you gotta,
No.
once you use them, you throw them away. So you're gonna need a lot.
Right. I mean, this is just if you, for some reason, a client shows up and they don't have one.
Right.
I have a hard time believing that people aren't going to have their own, but we have to be prepared for that.
Yep.
You know, if we're taking buyers out or whatever, meeting with sellers. So,
You remember what the price was on those that you got, the mask and the gloves?
I can look really quick. I got them through Amazon. They weren't crazy expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, and the masks are coming Sunday, so let's see. There were 50 in a pack. Of course, they're out now.
Mm.
It says they're out.
It's gonna be tougher to get them too with everybody going back to work.
Mhm.
You know, they're looking for them now.
Let's see. There were 50 in a pack, and they were $39.99.
Okay. All right.
So if anybody sees any great deals or whatever,
Where was that from today?
Amazon.
Okay.
Yep.
My neighbor makes them.
Yeah, Carol does, but you know, they're not reusable. I don't know if I would want to pay to have somebody make a bunch to hand out to people. I don't know. I mean, that's up to you guys, but
I made
Oh, she's pretty
4
busy.
over the weekend
so I
for
don't know if
myself.
if I can
what's
get
that,
any.
Holly?
I said I made 4 over the weekend for myself. I'm gonna make another 3 more for myself too.
Yeah, like I'll be surprised if people don't have them, but it's in our protocol. We got to be sure that we're prepared just in case. So, but if
What do you mean by they're not reusable?
there's like those blue ones,
Yeah,
they're like, you know, you don't wash them or anything, you throw them away.
right. Okay.
All right, let's see what time it is. Are we ready? To
I
go?
would think everybody should have their own mask, don't you? They're going anywhere.
Absolutely. Yes,
Hopefully.
and I'd be surprised if people don't, but in case you have a client that shows up or something, you got to be prepared to have them
Right.
have something. So,
Yep.
Okay, so let's get started here. Did everybody get the protocol that we sent out last night? Okay,
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
good.
All right, good. A couple things specific to our office. What was that? Somebody in the chat. Oh, no
You guys mute
microphone.
yourself?
Okay, V. Specific to our office, you know, the office will be open on Thursday, but this isn't like everybody come into the office, start working at the office again, okay? It's
Right.
gonna be a very gradual reopening, if you will. Not that we were ever really like closed, but we're not promoting you guys to come into the office to work right now. We've all kind of proven that we can work from home. You know, if it's an emergency and you need to come in and take care of something because you can't at home, that would be fine. But Tiffany will start being in the office on Thursday from 10 to 2. So every day she'll be there from 10 to 2. That doesn't mean that she's only working 10 to 2. That's just when she'll physically be in the office, okay? Bill and I will start being in the office. Bill will be there Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 10 to 2. Again, that doesn't mean if you have a question, come in and stand in our doorway, okay? That means we're just physically in the office in case something has to be done, but obviously available by phone all the time, just like normal. And then I'll be there on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 2 as well, okay? Michelle will still be working from home like she has been very sufficiently. Katina will be in the office Monday through Thursday, helping Michelle with payroll, making sure we're getting paid and all that good stuff. Bill moved Tiffany's desk to where her new office will be. So her desk is in there. And we did order a shield for the opening of that window there. Probably just like you guys seen it like Kroger, Meijer, that kind of stuff, just to kind of protect her as well from anybody that kind of walks into the office. We're not promoting you to meet people at the office. Obviously, if you have to, we can't mandate you not to go in there after starting Thursday. But don't meet anybody in our conference rooms. Obviously, they're too small, right? If you needed to meet somebody there, you could meet them at the big back table if you needed to. We will have masks, gloves, sanitizer, and we're having a really hard time finding wipes, but we will have bleach with paper towels or something to wipe things down when you use them. So that is specific to our office. Oh, and one more thing. If you share an office with someone and you have to come into the office, you need to coordinate with who you share, because I don't think both of you should be in that office at the same time. That make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So those are specific things to our office just because of how it's laid out, okay? And then we'll go into the sheet here of the protocols for all the offices.
Hey, Renee, one
Yeah.
thing too that we talked about is when you're sitting in your people in cubes, we have 4 people to a section. And obviously if you're back to back, you're not 6 foot apart. So if you're in your cube, you need to make sure, you know, that if somebody's sitting across from where you sit, you either got to go to a different desk or something like that to get 6 foot away.
And you would be required to wear a mask.
And wear a mask, yes.
Mhm.
So
Can we go into the conference room if somebody's in a cube with us then?
You
if
could.
it's just you,
Okay,
Yep.
yep. All right, any other questions about our office that way? Okay, let's move into the procedures here. So obviously, our office is gonna be open. This is 9 to 5, but it's really 8:30 to 4:30, just like it has been. Tiffany will be working 4 hours in the office and 4 hours at home. So that's pretty simple.
It's lucky.
Can you guys mute yourself?
Please.
Somebody's watching TV. I can't hear it.
Not me.
So there will be a sign on the door for our visitors. We're assuming that MAR is gonna put out something for that, so we're just kind of waiting for that. That they would be required to have a mask on when they enter. We would provide those. If people want to wear gloves, we'll have those, and obviously the hand sanitizer. The front desk will be wiping down, obviously, all the door handles, conference room tables, stuff like that. But if you're at that back conference table, just wipe it down. You know, as soon as your people leave, wipe it down. Let's keep everything really tight and clean.
Same with your office or your desk or anything like that. Anything you use, wipe it down. Copiers, restrooms.
So if you're in the office, you will be required to wear a mask. If you are in your private office with the door shut, you can take your mask off. But if you go out to use the restroom, the copier, whatever, you're going to be required to wear a mask. In the kitchen area. Hand sanitizer, we talked about that. We'll have that all over the place. The front desk, again, will be disinfecting the offices, wiping down the reception areas, all that stuff every day, whether somebody's in there or not, just to keep it nice and sanitized. The acrylic divider we talked about that we'll have on that opening window for Tiffany's new office there. The office meetings will remain in Zoom until further notice. We're not going to try and congregate everybody in the office, obviously, okay? It says you're encouraged to continue to submit files electronically. We are going to require that. There's no reason for you guys to be dropping paper files off at the office, okay? It just makes it nice and safe for everybody. Just keep emailing everything to the front desk, just like normal. And I don't, is Tiff on here? Does she want to add anything to that? I don't know if she's on or not. But just keep sending everything electronically like that. You're going to be responsible for obviously keeping your own workspace disinfected and keeping it nice and clean. No coffee, water, or pop, or any of that stuff. We're not going to be providing any of that until we get through this, really. If you want to bring in your own, obviously, lunch or whatever, and put it in the refrigerator, that's up to you. The floor time is going to remain the same. So just because you're on the floor doesn't mean you come into the office. All those floor calls will be transferred just like they are now to your home workspace, okay? And then obviously the closing procedures are, nothing has changed there. So that's all the same, drive-by closings. I did talk to Janelle on Friday, and they have started to do a few electronically. So as lenders ease up on that, we may have more of that coming. So any questions on the office procedures?
Are you still going to take walk-ins? How are you going to handle that? Other than provide the mask and stuff, but are you just referred to the agent? Or
it'll be referred to whoever the floor agent is. I think for the, you know, through the end of June, I don't really see that we're going to have a lot of people walk in, but if we do, obviously, Tiffany would direct them to the floor agent. I'm making my own wipes, half alcohol. Yeah, we talked about that today too, Veronica, so we may be doing that as well. Can I say this makes me kind of sad? I know. I feel the same way, Holly. It's going to be different for a while. And, you know, we'll miss people hanging out at our door asking us questions and stuff, but we just want everybody to be safe, and we'll get through this.
And that's the whole key too, everybody, is keeping everybody safe. You know, Chris wanted to make sure you guys all knew that. All these procedures are for you guys and your clients, so.
So any other questions about the kick your butt, yeah, about the office procedures? No? Okay, let's move on to the seller procedures. I did get an email.
Renee?
Yeah.
Renee, just real quick, with Katina being in the office, she's going to keep the door shut. So if you need her or anything, just please knock on the door and not just walk right in. You know, I think that's pretty much given for everybody, but you know, just make sure you knock. Because her back is to the door because of the way it's faced, instead of just walking into the office, because it is a very small office. If you could do that for me, I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on to the seller procedures. On Friday, I saw an email from Mar that said they are actually going to come up with some addendums for us, whether it's working with buyers or sellers. So I'm assuming today or tomorrow we're going to be getting those, and we'll be implementing those as well. It'll be, you know, safety procedures, but also showing certification. So something that maybe the buyer would have to sign is what we're thinking before we go and show them properties to kind of protect us, if you will. And also an addendum to link to our listing agreement, also to protect the agent. But we just don't have that yet. But obviously we'll roll that out as soon as we get that, okay? So these are the safety procedures that we have come up with, that we also, you know, took from Mar, who went to the governor and said, these are the things that we're going to do. So any, obviously in-person activities, you must abide by the social distancing, right? You are advised to wear and provide masks and gloves to all your sellers for listing appointments. You're advised to provide sellers with showing instructions maintaining current safety standards. So one, Sherry, she's on the call here. We have a kind of a group of us that are going to be making up a sign for you to put up. Sherry, if you want to jump in, to put on the door of your listings of social protocols that they need to abide by when showing the home.
Yeah.
Right, Sherry?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're still waiting, like you said, on, you know, whatever we get from Mar and stuff.
Yep. So we'll make sure that you guys get that. Advise the sellers to turn on all the lights and leave interior doors, drapes, and blinds open. Advise sellers to clean and disinfect all frequently touched surfaces prior to and after all showings. Realtor are advised to provide masks, gloves, booties, and hand sanitizer for showings. The open houses right now are discouraged, so we won't be doing any of those per the governor. And when you put your showing instructions, I skipped one, sorry about that. When you put your showing instructions into showing time and it asks you if you'll allow overlapping appointments, please mark no. Okay, we don't want an agent with a couple there, because I know when I showed houses before, they'd be like, oh, can we just come in just because you're here, instead of like politely waiting until you're done. So then you're at more than 4 people in the house, right? So make sure you mark no on that. No open houses. And the limit is 4 people in a home at one time. That's the governor's rule. Okay. Consider limiting in-person showings to potential buyers. Make sure that they're pre-approved or they have proof of funds, obviously. I've seen some agents put out that they're not even taking clients to a house until they do a virtual tour. So I don't think we're out of the virtual tour phase yet. So if you do a listing, I would still be doing a video, you know, to post. Let's see. Obviously, you're advised to have your own supply of masks and everything. I would just have quite a few things in your car just to make sure you have everything you need. No more than 4 people during photography, inspections, appraisals, final walkthroughs, that kind of stuff. And another big thing that we've seen is that all shoes will be removed outside. So if they're barefoot, I would provide booties, and they can wear booties in the house, but then take those booties with them. We're not reusing booties, and that will be one of the things on our sign for showing our listings. Okay. And then we're going to come up with some safety procedures for showing homes that you can also put in your realtor remarks. So that agent knows right when they're setting that appointment and they can look at that. And also when they get to the house, the sign that would be on the door. Any questions on that stuff, guys? Deb, Amazon is where I ordered some. I already ordered, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with the chat here. Good idea. Yeah. Do you suggest we hold off to schedule showings after Thursday? It's open on Thursday, so you can start on Thursday.
My Tommy gun down.
Holly, absolutely. I would be asking to see proof of funds or pre-approval ahead of time. And you may have, we haven't finally discussed this, but you may have agents that require you to send it to them. I mean, that could be a stipulation that your seller says, you know, I want to see it before they come into my house too. So, but absolutely before you show anybody, I would. Yes, Malia, you can still do virtual open houses. Yeah, we just can't do anything in person. So, any questions about the seller part of that? Everybody good? I know most of this is common sense, right? But we got to make sure that we get it out to everybody. Buyer procedures. Obviously, you need to abide by the CDC guidelines still. When I emailed you this, you should have been able to click right on the link. It'll take you to the Michigan government side. And then if you scroll all the way down past the map, it'll take you right to CDC. So you'll be able to see any of those guidelines if you don't know what they are already. Obviously, don't be hauling clients around in your car. I don't think a lot of us do that anymore anyway, but make sure you still meet them at the property. And obviously, you're advised to provide your clients the mask, gloves, etc. for showings if they don't have it. Advise your buyers to refrain from touching as many things as possible. Obviously, don't share phones, pens, or tablets. I know for myself, I don't want to meet with a buyer and write up an offer, right? Still, there's no reason that we can't, unless they physically can't. We should be doing all of that electronically still. So, and I plan on still doing all my seller docs that way as well, even for listings. So, any questions on the buyer part?
I do. Showing time isn't giving us the, when you go to a listing, showing time isn't there yet. Have you heard anything about that?
I'm getting showing requests for my listings. I wonder how that's happening.
Probably going into showing time.
I did that with 2 properties and they didn't have showing time, where you usually get the documents right there on the MLS page.
Oh.
In RealComp, and it concerns me.
Okay, that's the first I've heard of that because I've gotten a couple of requests, 2 actually, to show 2 different properties of mine on Thursday.
If they're new and the person never put in the instructions, it wouldn't have an icon.
I was able to schedule on the phone app.
Oh yeah, okay.
I tried to do it for my own house. I know I set up showing time for it, and it's not there. There's no request for showings on that. No spot to get into showing time.
I might send a chat to RealComp and just see what's going on with that. All right. Any other questions, guys?
What are you planning?
Renee?
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as, are you still recommending we try to do listing appointments like as much as we can, like even through Zoom, and then follow up with actually seeing the house and pictures.
I would, absolutely. And just explain to your seller, it's protecting them as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I would be sending all of my marketing, listing presentation, paperwork ahead of time.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when you're at the property, when you usually sit down and talk and all that stuff, I would still be doing that via Zoom as long as they're good with that. Like the only thing you'd be doing at the property would be viewing it, taking pictures.
Right.
So,
Okay, so I thought,
and I think they would appreciate that as well.
sure.
Colleen's got a good question posted about sellers
Okay.
out of state and how can you clean?
I guess the agent maybe would have to take that on themselves and maybe go after each showing and just wipe things down. What other questions you guys have?
There was a question in the chat that somebody posted about if it's going to cover clients like declining the equipment. Is that an option for them to decline it?
Mask, I do not believe is an option, but I guess until we get the total guidelines, we won't know.
Okay, I just saw somebody comment that in the chat and I was like, oh, that's
Okay.
a good point.
But like for me, like if I had a client that was coming and they refused to wear a mask, I'm not sure that I would, and this is your decision. I'm not sure that I would show them. Right? But we'll have to wait and see. But as of right now, everyone will wear a mask.
So we should always tell our buyers, bring your own mask with you.
Yes, but you're advised to have some for them if they don't.
Yeah, even if they have something, they might forget it at home, Left
Right.
it or whatever. So
It's going to be such a natural thing now. Like I haven't gone anywhere, but I see on Facebook, like people try to go to Home Depot and they turn them away because they don't have a mask or they have to pay $1. Same thing at like Menards and all of these places. So I think it's kind of the norm now. But obviously there is a portion that is against it or whatever. But, if it's our guidelines per our governor and MAR, we have to abide by it. Any other questions, guys? The showing icon is missing. I saw that shake of head, Colleen. Okay.
Isn't it required by the governor to wear a mask when you go outside in public?
It's not required, it's recommended.
Recommended, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're not like ticketing people, but anyway. All right, how does everybody feel? Ready to go back to work? Have people been contacting some clients? They got some stuff lined up or what's going on?
If we have a new listing, we're able to go take pictures and measurements and.
On Thursday, yep.
On Thursday.
Yep.
Okay.
I got a listing appointment Thursday.
Awesome. Anybody else?
I just have a lot of stuff in the pipeline and kind of waiting for more freedom here, so to do things. Potential sellers, so.
Dave, you're so funny. Anybody else?
I'm working 2 buyers right now, and I should be closing Newark here in the next week and a half. So I'm hoping.
Awesome.
Actually, David's got a good point. I was wondering that, not that I've gotten any at this point. I don't know if you have, but now that we're allowed to go back to work, how's the unemployment thing work?
Yeah, I think you can, Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong, if you've heard anything, but I think you can certify for the last 2 weeks, but I don't know if you can certify for this coming week because we can come, or this week because we can go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
I have not heard anything. I'm waiting for the state of Michigan to put something out about that, because now that it's considered essential, I really have a feeling they're going to stop the federal money and take a lot of people out of the unemployment system because it's so overwhelmed. But again, I have not heard any confirmation one way or another from the state.
Yeah, but like, I think this week's certification is for the last 2 weeks, so you should be okay, but I don't think continuing on that you can. I don't know that
I'm getting out of
100%,
this.
but,
Did you get me set?
so.
It's on your account.
Anybody else?
Okay.
What else you got going on? Is anybody uneasy about going back to work?
I
Is
am
it-
definitely uneasy about that.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, if I get sick, I can't even see my son, and if he gets sick, it's game over.
right.
So and that's one of the questions I kind of had just with the people who have been doing this so long. I had a few listings that were ready for spring, and now they're scared to death to list because they don't want people coming in their houses. So, and that kind of comes back to the unemployment thing. I mean, if you can't, you know, just because we're able to work doesn't mean people want to do this. What are you guys saying to people that to get them to understand that it's possible to list, or to turn them if they're on that fence because they're scared and leery?
Right. I think you just need to explain to them the protocols that we're taking. And I would never force anyone into listing their house during this time, whether we have an addendum to protect you or not. And that's just, some people are going to be okay with it and some people aren't. And I don't think there's any way to talk them into it.
Right.
But I'd be hard pressed to see us get unemployment once we become essential on Thursday. So.
Right before the shutdown, I have a seller at Empire House staged for an estate sale. And I don't know what to tell her.
Yeah. Are they essential yet? Like, can they do an online sale or something?
That's kind of what I was thinking she might want to do, but we got to clear out the house before I can sell it, so.
Right. Yeah, I would probably recommend to see if she could do an online sale. Anybody else? No? No questions?
Well, what if you have a vacant home? I'm going to be listing a vacant home pretty soon, but he's not quite ready yet. So you'd still have the masks and gloves there?
Yeah, I would, yep. Yeah, because if somebody comes and they don't have it, for sure. And if they live around, I would tell them to go and sanitize after every showing. Obviously, if they're out of state, that's different. We kind of talked about that, but. Any other questions, guys? What about cleaning after showings? What do you mean, Cheryl? The seller obviously would sanitize things after showings.
She's asking if the house is vacant, what do you do?
Yeah, well, it said, like, if they're out of state, like I said, you may need to go and do it after showings. But like I said to Bertie, if the seller is close, you know, I would recommend that they would go do it after the showings. Bill, Michelle, did I miss anything? What can you guys think of?
I don't think anything. I think we're good.
Well, good to see all your faces again.
Charge a fee for what, Holly?
For cleaning their house, she's saying.
Oh, I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, if a seller commits to listing their house during this, I feel like the least we could do would be to go and sanitize things, right? So. All right, any other questions, guys?
Yeah, I have a question. If we already have the listing, should we go back and add addendums to it?
Can somebody mute? I don't know who that is.
You didn't hear my question?
No, I didn't.
It's, excuse me. If we already have a listing, should we go back and add these addendums when they come to that listing?
Yes. Yep. And I know I'll be going to take my own pictures on some of mine too. All right, guys. No more questions? All right, it was great to see all your faces. And as soon as we get any more updates or, you know, the addendums, et cetera, from MAR, we'll make sure that we push them out to you guys.
Hey, Renee?
Yeah.
I was on the MAR site a few minutes ago, and it looked like there's some new addendums, but I'm not sure how new they are. If you want to check it out. But it looks like there was a couple of new things from what was on the site on Friday.
Oh, okay. Yep, I'll look and see. All right, if you guys don't have any other questions, then have a great day. If you need us, you know where to reach us.
Hey, you too.
All right,
Okay,
bye.
you too. Bye.
Be safe, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you, everyone.